All right, and finally, let's finish things up with the last tip on Thursday night, 10:05 Eastern on True TV. Drake, 1.5 point favorite against Washington State. Another case of a double-digit seed being a favorite here, with Drake as the 10, Washington State as the 7, total 138.5. I like Drake here. Look, there's a couple intangible factors here that I think are working in their favor. One, this game's in Omaha, little crowd advantage, less travel. Two, the experience edge for this Drake team that was here in the tournament last year was up with eight with 5 to go. Sadly for me and anyone else who bet Drake, they blew that lead to Miami, who would then go on to the Final Four. I think I have the best player in the court in DeVries. Brody can stay on the court in this matchup. And, Washington State doesn't have a really great pick and roll offense. And they will throw some zone out there, but I don't think that's a great idea against Drake, even though Drake is graded out much better against man. I just think from an X's and O's perspective, Drake matches up pretty well. I also think Washington State, a lot of respect for both of these coaches, but I think that Washington State kind of peaked earlier in the season, and it might partly be because Miles Rice might have hit a little bit of a wall and his production has kind of declined. But I think Drake grits this one out and pulls it off over Washington State as a small favorite. I like the Bulldogs. Calabrese, you agree?
Yeah, I'm with you here. DeVries is a stud, and what's nice is he's proven throughout the season that he'll play his best basketball when they're playing the best teams. When you look at the 3 teams that are in this field that they played against, plus the 3 games against Indiana State, who were the highest net team to ever be left out of March Madness, he averaged almost 27 points per game. Now, their defense isn't great. It's only 75th in KenPom, and they give up way too many shots around the hoop. Their 2-point percentage defense is 246 in the country. But when they do get stops and teams miss their shots, they're 7th nationally in defensive rebounding percentage. So I really like that from a mid-major. In terms of the opponent adjust metric, when they're playing high quality opponents, they're 24th in terms of their performance in the entire country. And they come in hot. They've won 10 of 11 straight up. That includes knocking off Indiana State in Arch Madness. They do it with lots of big kill shot runs. The 10-0 runs are better. They have 24 on the season. And then we're talking a lot about DeVries, but A10 Wright also has the potential to go off from long range if they're doubling DeVries and they're working the ball around the perimeter. He's a sharp shooter. He has 3 or more triples in 4 of his last 9 games. I think he's the perfect complement to DeVries. And I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of home cooking, a lot of home fans there, less than 2 hours from Des Moines to Omaha.
Randall, any final thoughts on any of the games that we mentioned or anything else you want to get out there before we sign off here?
Yeah, 2 things. I'm on the other side of this one, guys.
Oh, really? Interesting.
2-8, yeah, and Drake is a team that I when they went 16-0 and 16-0 against the spread, that was a fun year, a lucrative year, Mr. Calabrese. But this one I'm against, 285 in non-conference strength of schedule. DJ Wilkins, Roman Penn, big difference from last year's team that battled Miami. I think Washington State is up for the task. They can shoot it from the outside. I agree with Rice Stuck. He got worn down, but he had a little bit of time now to get right. I think they pull this one out, Washington State. It's very close, but I'm not on Drake to go through here. They look great in the Missouri Valley, but I want to see them here against a good Washington State defense that is longer and tougher than I think they're used to. Other one, guys, I will co-sign on McNeese. I will co-sign on them going against Gonzaga. Love everything about them. Their defense, the pressure, Will Wade. And guys, let's not forget that in the non-conference, yes, they did play some teams, as Stuck said, are looking for name changes, but they had 3 massive road wins. VCU away by 10, Texas State on a neutral by 11. They beat Michigan, of course, scoring 87 points by 11. And finally, UAB, who's in the tournament, a robust 21-point win on the road. I like McNeese to win outright, guys. But great job. Great slate of games on Thursday.
By the way, Gonzaga, we've seen their resurgence and everyone jumping back on them. Since February 1st, they're shooting 39.7% from 3. They were 33.5% prior to February 1st. Definitely shooting above their heads. Don't be surprised if they have an off shooting night
Guys, really
this
quick,
upcoming weekend.
really quick quiz for you. Last time Mark Few did not get out of the first round, who beat him?
16. I think he's made it out of the first round 15 straight times.
Oh yeah, it's a
that
famous
right?
player. A team that was led by a famous player. 2008.
Steph
Gonzaga.
Curry. Steph
That's
Curry.
it.
Davidson.
That's
There
it,
we go.
Davidson.
There it
There we
is.
go.
Wow,
Well done,
nice.
Calabrese.
That was a
There
high
it is.
scoring game, I think, too.
Yep.
It was a fun game.
Steph Curry
Uh,
saved my bacon that year as someone
Curry
who's
had
taking a
Curry
few
might have
bets.
45 or something in that game.
He went nuts in the second half of that game. It was incredible.
Yep.